we all make decisions in a little bit of a different way and make sense of the world around us. And through NLP, we can explain a lot of this through meta programs. Meta programs are the filters that we use beyond our programs. And meta is a Greek word that means beyond. So we're looking at programs beyond our programs. And one of them about how we bring information into our world and make sense of it is through the meta program that talks about internal versus external. Someone who is more internally referenced will make decisions, make understandings in internal world, and they'll be very internally referenced. So the best way to describe somebody that's more internally referenced is they'll use a lot of words like I think, or I was thinking, or I know, or here's what I want to do, based on my interpretation and my logic and my understanding. If I'm communicating to someone who is more internally referenced, then I will ask them, so what do you think about this? Instead of giving my own impressions and understandings of something, I'll ask them, so what do you think? That is a great way of getting more understanding about what somebody else wants who's more internally referenced. Somebody who's more internally referenced generally won't ask somebody for their opinion. They will already know inside. Might tell you what they think because their ideas and aspects and decisions for them are correct for them, but they probably won't ask you, so what do you think? Externally oriented will. They'll ask not only what do you think, but they might also ask 3 or 4 other people, what do you think about this? And somebody who's more internally oriented will go, well, why are you asking me? Just why don't you know? Or somebody who's internally oriented will say will give that opinion to an externally oriented person, go, okay, there's my thought, go and do that. Where the externally oriented person will ask 3 or 4 other people for their opinion. They want a little bit of consensus. They would like to have ideas of people before they make a decision. And it's not just one, it might be 3 or 4, 20 people that they want the external validation from. Somebody who is externally validated might ask a lot of, well, how am I doing? Or am I doing a good job at this? And they might not always have a good reference internally. So if I have an employee that's more externally referenced, I want to be able to give feedback and sometimes specific feedback about what that person is doing well. But if I don't have the ability or time to always do that, I want to help that person find out internally how they can know that they're doing a good job, or what my external factors are that I'm looking for. If I'm speaking to somebody who's more externally oriented, I might say things like, would you like my opinion? Or who could you ask about that? Or can I share my thoughts about this with you? And that'll give that external person some external validation. How we filter information, how we're making sense of the world around us and gathering information. So more internally oriented or externally oriented. We can flip these around sometimes because in some instances it's more effective to be more external and more effective to be more internal. Let's say take somebody, for example, who has a fear of public speaking. If the person who has a fear of public speaking is more internally referenced, then their thoughts and feelings are going to be on the inside. Oh my God, my heart is racing and I can see all these people and what are they going to think about me, which is more externally oriented. Internally oriented, stick on that, Heidi. I can't get my breath, my heart is beating so fast, I'm going to forget the words that I have to say, what am I doing here? And it'll be internal focus, where it might be useful to take the focus outside of them and notice simple things like outside of them, how many men, how many women are here, how many people are wearing glasses, how many people have brown hair. If, however, somebody has that fear of public speaking, they're more externally focused, then they're going to be on what are they thinking, what are they all looking at me, and I can't stand this world of external awareness, judge me kind of thing. So again, bringing the focus on the inside. Notice the breath, notice the breathing. But if somebody's already internally referenced having a fear or anxiety going on, bringing them inside isn't going to help. We need to take them outside. And same way, if somebody's having a panic attack or they're anxious about something and they're already externally aware, bringing them in will help. Leaving them outside of themselves will not. When you are making decisions, when you're talking to people, start to listen to the language. Are they creating consensus? Are they asking for feedback? Do they want them themselves? Because you're wasting your breath pretty much telling an internally oriented person anything, giving them any kind of suggestions or information because they need to decide themselves. Where leaving somebody to their own devices, if they're more externally oriented, will also hit a road bump, so a speed bump per se. So go ahead and offer some thoughts, ask them, would you like my opinion on that? And they ask for advice. Internally and externally oriented is a meta program that tells us a little bit more about how people make sense of the world. There are about 59 to 60 of these different meta programs, lots and lots in NLP